Let us talk about conic sections. So when we say conic sections, these are simply conics. These are the curves obtained by intersecting a plane and a right circular cone. So we can see here a cone, circular cone. That means that the altitude here is perpendicular to the base. That makes it a right circular cone. So how do we recognize conics? First, we have to look into the conditions. When there is a plane perpendicular to the cone's axis. So the cone's axis is this, kung saan siya magro-rotate. This is the cone's axis. Okay? Now, a plane that is perpendicular to the cone's axis is called as a circle. So you can see here there is a cut. There is a circle being formed, and it is perpendicular to the axis. Well, the plane parallel to the side of the cone produces a parabola. So here it goes. The side of the cone is also known as this one slanting. This is the side of the cone. Okay, and when you cut it perpendicular parallel to that side, then you're forming a parabola. Now a plane at an arbitrary angle to the axis of the cone forms an ellipse. So here you go. This one is an ellipse. Okay, now it doesn't cut the base, but konting slant lang dyan, and there is a certain angle. Ellipse is being formed. And when a plane parallel to the axis cuts out, then there you go, we have a hyperbola. Okay, so ito ang axis, and then when you do it parallel to the axis, then you have a hyperbola here. Now each of these, pag-uusapan natin yan as we go through. Now if we extend the cone through its vertex and form a second cone, you find the second branch of the hyperbola in here. Okay? Now all these curves can be described as graphs of second degree equations in two variables. So ang pag-uusapan natin ay mga second degree equations. These are raised to 2. Okay? That makes it second. So when the plane passes through the vertex, okay, the plane passes through the vertex here, the resulting figure is a degenerate conics. Okay, degenerate. So ito ang mga posibleng mangyari kung you're going to pass through the vertex here. Okay, so you can have a point. So this one is a point, the other is a line. Okay, this is a point, this is a line, the other intersecting. So these are the possibilities, and we're going to have this as we go through, but more likely when you proceed to college, you're going to talk more about this. Okay, now each of the conics is defined as a locus or collection of points satisfying a certain geometric property. Locus, okay, it is a collection of points, so don't forget that. So when we say locus, collection of points. So lahat daw ito ay nabuo through infinite points. Satisfying, so meron mga conditions that we need to satisfy to be able to have this particular conics. So let's talk about the circle. So ito ang isa sa pinakamadaling aralin. Okay? Now a circle is defined as the set of all points in a plane that are equidistant, equal distance from a fixed point called the center. Okay, so there is a center here, and the fixed distance is called the radius. So hindi yan pwede magbago. Now, saan papasok dyan ang locus of points? So, ang sabi, when you rotate that, these are points that can be formed when you keep on identifying different points, rotating the radius through the circle. And the radius here should be always greater than 0. So what happens when radius is 0? Then that will become a point. So it cannot be that the radius is 0. Because when that is simply 0, that's simply a dot. That's simply a point. Okay? And so our condition here is the radius must always be 0, greater than 0. So that means that's positive. okay? And should not be negative definitely because we don't talk about distance here, which is negative. Now suppose a circle is centered at a point hk. So this h is the x coordinate of the center and k is the y coordinate. So why do we use h and k? So we would like to be specific that h is for the x coordinate of the center and k is the y coordinate of the center. And definitely we have the radius that is r. As introduced and as recalled, we talk about the Sun's formula. And since we have 2 points here, C representing the center and P representing any point on the circle, then we're going to make use of the distance formula to be able to solve for what must be the equation of the circle. Take note that our main focus is to be able to get the equation. Again, equation class is simply the rule that we must follow. We are referring to the rule. Equation serves as the rule. It serves as the formula. Okay? So pag sinabi nating rule, yan ang susundin natin, no? In whatever possible things you would like to do with that circle, especially in building and construction maybe, and other specific applications. So in here, we know that the distance between two, so we're going to square both sides in here because we know that the radius, so this must be removing now this square root. So the square root of the square of x minus h, where h is the x coordinate of the center here, plus y minus k, where k is the y coordinate of the center. Well, x here and y are the coordinates of P, which is any point on the circle. Then we're going to square both sides, giving us this. This will now serve as the equation of the circle. Okay, so it means here we're going to square this, thus removing now the radical sign. The standard equation of a circle is written this way. So we have the square of x minus h plus the square of y minus k is equal to the square of r. Class, the common mistake is that r is not being squared. When we have the equation of the circle, r must always be squared. The center here is hk with radius that must be greater than 0. The standard equation is also known as the center radius form. So why is it center radius? Because it is obvious that the center hk coordinates are being visible and radius r seen from r squared is also visible. Now the center and radius of a circle, let's try to find that. Now it's easy. Why? Because the center and radius of a circle is given or just visible when the given is in standard form. That is in this form. Start by looking into the given, the first given, the square of x minus 3 plus the square of y minus 5 is equal to 9. Well, we can say here, observing the general, you can observe here that there is h here and there is k. Now, we can also see that when x minus h, then parang sinasabi niya na pag nakakita ka ng minus sign, then just get the positive. So, minus yan eh. Given yan. So, h and k ay kukunin mo lang recognizing this minus. So, for example, we can see here there is minus sign here. Then we can immediately say that h is 3. And the other, we see also minus sign here, then we can say that k is 5. So parang sinasabi natin na kapag we see minus 3 in here, then turn that into positive 3. And when we see minus 5, turn that into positive 5. So we have here HK 3, 5. And the radius, as said, no, pagka posible magkamali kayo, ito ay laging r squared. Okay, 9 is r squared. So you need to get the square root of 9 to give us 3 as a radius. Get the square root of 9, that must be 3. Next, ngayon nakikita natin this is plus, then we can immediately say that h is negative 0.5. Baliktarin lang natin. Also see here plus, turn that into negative, so negative 2. So we can say that hk, the x-coordinate h of the center is negative 0.5, while the y-coordinate k of the center is negative 2. Radius, this is r squared class, take note of that, and this will give us radius that is 1 unit. What about the third? Again, we see here positive, so turn that into, kumbaga sa isip mo, that must be, h must be a negative number, so negative 5 over 2, okay? And when you say, wala kang nakikita dito, no? So it's not even enclosed, there's no binomial as seen, so that is understood to be, there is 0. Kumbaga, that is y plus 0 and then squared. That making it negative 5 over 2 and 0. The radius here, since 5 is r squared, don't forget that, then square root of 5 gives us square root of 5. That serves as the radius. So let's have more. So x minus 1 squared plus y plus 1 squared is equal to 16. So how do we identify again the center? So kikita natin this is negative. So just get 1, that is h. And then we see here positive. Then gawin mo siyang negative. So k is negative 1. So you have 1 and negative 1. Well, the radius, 16 is r squared. Get the square root of 16. That will give us 4 as the radius. What about here? So x squared, we don't see any binomial. X is being squared. That is understood to be 0 as h. Okay? Now y, so we see plus here, then turn that into negative. Negative 3 over 4. So hk, h is 0, k is negative 3 over 4. So we have that coordinates. Well, the radius, let's just get the square root of 4, gives us 2. Now, GeoGebra is also used for us to visualize all of these graphs. Okay, so let's have a practice on that. The general equation of a circle. General equation. So, pinag-usapan na natin kanina ang standard equation, wherein the standard equation is also known as a center radius form. Now, what about the general equation of a circle? The equation of the circle is given in general form ax squared plus by squared plus cx plus by plus e is equal to 0, where a and b should not be 0. And what is the reason? Because when a becomes 0 and b becomes 0, we don't talk about circle anymore. We're talking about a line kasi ito may iwan, cx plus by plus e is equal to 0. So that will become a line. It cannot be. Another special case for a circle class that you must take note is that A is equal to B. They must be the same all the time. Okay? So in most cases, makakakita ka ng equations na x squared lang ang nakasulat plus y squared. This is understood na pareho sila ng numerical coefficient. And another thing you have to observe, class, this is always plus. Okay, all of this, when properly observed, may mga kinalaman kasi sila sa iba pang klase ng conics. So that can serve as a clue para makita mo kung ang given ay isang circle. Now, the general equation of a circle, from this ay pwede tayong gumawa ng formula to be able to get the center, and the radius of the given circle equation. So it can say here, no, visible, that h becomes negative of c over 2, where c is for x, okay? And k is negative d over 2, where d is a numerical coefficient of y. So, tandaan niyo yan. Since ang h ay x coordinate, so punta ka lapad dun, partner, c is to ax, okay? And since k is y coordinate of the center, then punta ka sa partner ng y, which is d. How about the radius? The radius here becomes the square root of c squared plus d squared over 4 minus e, or simply r is equal to the square root of h squared plus k squared minus e. But paano nga ba nangyari yun? Okay, so let's have the derivation. Okay, so paano nga ba nakuha yung mga formula na ito? We can find it with the use of the completing the square method. On the first step, i-group natin lahat ang may numerical coefficient x. So we have x squared plus cx, and then i-group natin ang may y variables. So y squared plus dy is equal to, ilipat natin si constant e, so that is negative of e. After grouping them, we are going to create perfect square trinomial. So according to this rule, get the numerical coefficient of x, no, c, i-divide natin sa 2. After dividing by 2, we have to square it. So this becomes c squared over 4. The same must happen to d. Get d. And then we need to divide it by 2. And then we square it. So we have d squared over 4. So that means, class, that we are now having a perfect square trinomial. So this becomes x squared plus cx, okay, plus c squared over 4. I-add natin yun. Okay, I'm going to expand it here. This is x squared plus cx plus c squared over 4. When you add that, kailangan mo rin mag-subtract para walang epekto sa buong equation. So itong buong ito remains to be 0. So walang nagbago. So plus y squared plus dy. We have to add d squared over 4 and then minus d squared over 4. This is equal to negative of e. Okay, so ang perfect square trinomial na sinasabi natin ay itong grupo na to. So we have this group is a perfect square trinomial. And so with this, ililipat natin ngayon itong negative c squared over 4 at saka positive negative d squared over 4. So which means that we now have x squared plus cx plus c squared over 4 added to y squared plus dy plus d squared over 4 is now equal to negative of e. So nilipat natin si negative, take note, nilipat natin si negative c squared over 4. So from that, dahil nilipat mo, magiging positive c squared over 4. Nilipat natin si negative d squared over 4, turning it into positive again. So positive d squared over 4. Okay? So, paano natin nalaman na this is a perfect square trinomial? So we can say, see here, class, kasing ginawa natin, c divided by 2 is equal to c, c over 2, and then when you square that, that is c squared over 4. Okay, and from that, we now have a perfect square trinomial. So ano ang ibig sabihin? What is the second term of the binomial? The second term, class, is yung quotient ng c when divided by 2. ito ang binomial. So, the square of x plus c over 2 is equal to x squared plus cx plus c squared over 4. Okay, according to the rule of perfect square trinomial, square the first term, x squared. That's x squared. Square c over 2 is c squared over 4. Twice the product of the first term and the second term gives us cx. 2 times c over 2, okay? 2 times x times c over 2 is equal to cx. So we got it. Okay, what about for the second, for y? So this is y plus d over 2 squared is now equal to, so pwede nating ayusin ito. Simulan natin kay positive c squared over 4. And then we have d squared over 4 minus e. And since if you're going to go back to the rule of standard form, so ito ay galing sa x minus h squared. So, i-pattern natin siya. So, this is y minus k squared is equal to r squared. So, since r squared yan, class, that is the reason why yung r ay square root ni c squared plus d squared over 4 minus e. Na-combine lang itong dalawa ito into over 4 because they are similar fractions. Okay? So, ano naman na nangyari kay h? H is negative of c over 2. Bakit? Kasi nakita natin that this is positive. Positive c over 2. Diba sabi ko kanina, kapag nakakita tayo ng plus, then turn that into negative. Okay? That is the reason why h is negative of c over 2. While k is negative of d over 2. So, here is k. And since class, paano naging h squared plus k squared? Ito namang isang formula in here. Paano siya naging h squared plus k squared minus e, or simply the square root of h added to the square root of, r, or the radius is the square root of the square of h plus the square of k minus e. The reason there, class, is that because c over 2 is square is equal to c squared over 2. Over 4. That's over 4. Which at the same time, class, c over 2 is simply, that is h. So that means h squared is equal to c squared over 4. So by substitution lang yun. Kaya ito naging h squared. The same happened for k. Okay? Because k is d over 2. Negative d over 2. Anyway, h is negative c over 2. So when you square any negative, gives you positive. For k naman, kapag in-square mo ang negative d over 2, which gives you d squared over 4, still that is k squared, the square of k. So yun na nangyari. Okay, so let's have to apply this. Example, so we have x squared minus 6x plus y squared minus 27 is equal to 0. So subukan natin gamitin ang completing the square method, and then gagamitin natin ang formula na na-generate kanina for h, k, and r. And you will observe, class, that they are just the same. Let's have it. By completing the square, ang intention natin dito ay para magkaroon tayo ng standard form. Okay, so ano ang nangyari? Ang first step na nangyari, ginrupo natin ang lahat ng may x. So here, x squared minus 6x, and then we have y squared minus 27. And since we don't see y here, just y squared, then pwede nating ilipat ang negative 27, then we have 27 here. This is understood to be 0 now already, class. Alam na natin na ang k ay 0. Nakikita natin nawawala ang y variable, or y raised to 1 term, no? Missing. But for x and x here, we have x squared and x, so pwede na nating ma-generate ngayon ang h. So paano yun? Ang gagawin lang natin dyan, just get negative 6 here. Negative 6 divided by 2 gives us negative 3. Kaya ito naging negative 3. So yun na siya. Yan na yung ibig sabihin from negative 3, alam na natin ang h is equal to 3. Kasi kompleto na. Nabuo na natin ang standard form. What about for 36? Get the square root of 36. Okay? Saan galing ng 9 na yan? Gayahin mo lang. Kung mag-plus ka ng 9 dyan, mag-plus ka din sa kabila. Okay? Para balanse sila. That's the definition of equation. Kaya yan naging 36. The square root of 36 will now give us 6. Now, using the formula, makikita natin dito na ang A natin ay 1. Ang B natin ay 1 din. Ito kay y squared. Ang C natin ay negative 6. Ang D natin, we don't see, that's 0. Ang E natin ay negative 27. Okay, so substitute. So H is negative of C over 2, where C is negative 6. Substitute. So negative of negative is positive. So 6 divided by 2 gives us 3. The same what we found here. Where K is negative of D over 2, where D is 0. So 0 divided by any number except 0 is 0. K is 0. When it comes to the radius naman, so since alam mo na ang H and K, alam mo na ang H and K, square mo yung dalawa. Square 3 gives us 9. Square 0 is 0. Negative of negative 27 is positive 27. So add these two, gives us 36. Now get the square root of 36, gives us 6. Same with this. So we have the radius, that is 3, 0 as coordinates, and the center, the radius is 6 units. So kung ikaw nagsusolve, anong gusto mong gamitin? Which is faster to you? So it's your choice. So here is the graph. Again, try natin yan using the GeoGebra. What about the second example? X squared minus 15 is equal to 0. Makikita natin in class ito by merely investigating it. We don't see the term containing x. We don't also see the term containing y. Madaling salita, nakikita natin na pwede na natin itong isulat into x squared plus y squared is equal to 15. But that can be further explained by showing to you completed the square. Yan na. Which is why it is easy to identify h and k here. So hindi na natin nakikita yung any numerical coefficient for x, right? So h now is 0 here, where k is 0. What about this 15? This 15 is r squared. So getting r is the square root of 15. Now, let's check using the formula generated. Where h, okay. So, ang kailangan ni h ay c. So, c is for x. 0 ang c. No? K is also needing d, where d is 0. And so, that gives us h and k as the origin. So, again, kapag ang x and y coordinates natin ay parehong 0, we're referring to the origin. Getting the radius is simply squaring the x and y here of the center, which is k, h and k. So squaring 0 and 0, and then add 15. Then get the square root. Square root of 15 is the radius. Same, no? Pareho lang talaga sila ng gagamitin. But again in class, you have to observe muna, no? Bago kayo pumili ka ng pinakamabilis gamitin. Makikita natin na upon observation, they can immediately determine that h and k really are 0. So here's the graph. Nakikita natin na nasa center. Ang center ay nasa origin. Third, so again observing where a is 1, b is also 1, c is 2, d is negative 16, and e is positive 61. So by completing the square, combining those with x, so itong dalawa mag-partner, while y is partner to negative 16. Pareho silang may y. 2 divided by 2 is 1, kaya ito naging positive 1. Negative 16 divided by 2 is negative 8, kaya minus 8 ito. So when the quotient is positive, then plus lapa. When the quotient is negative, then negative. Okay? So 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1. Square 1 is 1. Kaya ito may plus 1. Kung anong in-add mo dyan, i-add mo din sa kapila. That makes it balance. Negative 16 divided by 2 is negative 8. Square negative 8 is 64. Kaya ito ay may plus 64. So do it on the other side also. Now, we can immediately see here that h is, kung plus 1 yan, h is negative 1. Ito naman, ang k ay positive. So ang 4 ay nakuha when we combine negative 61 plus 1 plus 64. The difference gives us 4. Square 4, and so the radius is 2. So let's verify that using the formula. So h is negative of c over 2, where c again is 2. Yeah, negative of 2 over 2 is negative 1. K is negative 16 over 2. So yeah, I forgot that. It becomes positive now on this part because negative and negative gives us positive. So that simply gives us 8 as K. Squaring h and K, we square h, that is negative 2. So 1 yan. We square K, that is 8, gives us 64. And 1 plus 64 is 65, minus 61 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. So nakikita natin na anong gusto mong piliin sa pag-solve, then you have to be consistent. At the same time, you need to double check kung tama nga ba, no? Base sa ginamit mong rule. So pwede mong i-try itong dalawang paraan, A and B. And if you are certain that you would like to use B, then why not? The graph looks like this. Number 4, by completing the square, we have combining again. So nakita natin, this is negative 2. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Kaya ito, minus 1 agad. Square negative 1 is 1. Kaya plus 1 na ito. Punta naman tayo kay y. Negative 6y. Okay. Negative of 6y. Negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. Kaya minus 3 ito agad. Square negative 3 gives us 9. So 26 plus 1 plus 9 is 36. Okay. And so, anong h natin dito? Kikita natin from negative 1, gawin mo siyang positive. And k here is positive 3. Radius is the square root of 36, 6. Using the formula, ang kailangan natin dito ay malaman ng c. So nakikita natin c is negative 2 here. D is negative 6. And E is negative 26. Substituting that to the formula, so negative c over 2, where c is negative 2, negative and negative, positive again, 2 divided by 2 is 1. D is negative 6, so negative 6. Negative and negative becomes 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then square h and k, square 1, 1, square 3, 3, 9. 1 plus 9 is 10, 10 plus 26, because this is, no, that become positive. So 36, square root of 36 is 6. And they are just the same. So here are the graphs of the 4 circles. Kikita natin iba-iba ang pwesto nila. Magkakaiba ang kanilang center. Magkakaiba ang quadrants kung saan makikita ang center. Because class, when you have different equations of circles, kung magkakaiba ang properties ng circles when it comes to radius, then definitely, okay, may iba-iba din ang itsura ng circle. The smaller, the larger, ganyan. Depende rin naman yan sa radius. Ngayon, kung pare-pareho ang radius, pare-pareho ang center, then iisang circle lang pinag-uusapan. Okay? I hope that's clear. Yung haba, yung laki ng circle ay nakadepende sa haba ng radius. At ang center ang nagdidictate at the same time, okay, kung saan mag-i-start yung expansion. So after knowing the standard equation of the circle and the general equation of the circle class, you need to know also how do we determine the equation of the circle. That is, there are different conditions that can be provided, and from these conditions, how can we possibly get the equations? So let's take a look on some of the conditions. So let us have the first condition. The center and radius are given. So this is considered as the easiest of all the conditions that can be provided to you, that the center and the radius are already given. Okay? You have to take note, class, that the center and radius are just two of the terms you basically need for you to have the circle. Okay? So ano ang pinakamabilis gamitin if you have the center and radius? Well, definitely make use of the center radius form. So in the center radius form or the standard equation, you just need to substitute where h is 1, but you really need to take note, class, na kailangan mo pa rin bumalik kung yung standard equation. Balik ka lang dito, and then looking into h and k, just simply substitute h and k. H here is 1, while k is 2. That is why you can simply substitute h, that is 1 here, so minus 1. And then square. K is 2, so this is substitute k, that is 2. And then radius is 3. Tandaan mo, this is r squared. Then 3 squared. Nangyayari. Okay? And then 3 squared is 9. This is the standard equation. Kung yan ang hinihingi sa'yo, then you can simply enter your answer this way. However, when you are asked to provide the general equation, just simply expand the standard equation. X minus 1 squared is simply x squared minus 2x plus 1. So go back to the finding the product. You square the first term x, so we have x squared. You square the second term negative 1 or 1, that's simply 1. Twice the product of the first term x and the second term negative 1 gives us negative 2x. The same goes to y minus 1 squared. So we have y squared minus 4y plus 4. Okay? And then this minus 9, ilipat mo. From this side, ilipat mo. So sama-sama sila. It must be equated to 0. Combining like terms, so like terms 1 here, and 4 and negative 9, combine them gives us negative 4. Okay? So the final answer is x squared plus y squared minus 2x minus 4y minus 4 is equal to 0. So this is the general equation. Let's take a look into its graph. So the graph looks like this. Okay, where the center is positive 1, 2. So you can check it out that this is a point on the circle. So let's say that point here is 1, 5. So we can check, pwede natin verify yan. When we substitute 1 minus 1 is 0. So square 0 is 0. Y is 5, so 5 minus 2 square is 9. 9 is equal to 9, which means that is a point. That is also proven, class, no? Kasi ang radius natin kanina is 3 units. So, by simply counting, that is true to be 3. 1, 2, and then 3. 3 units. Okay? Pero, hindi sa lahat ng pagkakataon na kaya nating hulaan, class. So, that is why meron tayong equation na makapagbibigay sa atin ng rule kung paano malaman ang mga points on the circle. Okay? Let's have more. The center, okay, this is the second. The center is at negative 4, negative 3 with the radius at square root of 7. So, substitute natin ng negative 4. So, negative and negative gives us positive, so plus 4. Substitute negative 3, negative, negative, no? That's positive, kaya ito naging positive 3. The square root of 7 is 7. So that is the standard equation. Expanding that to give the general equation, squared 4 is 16, kaya ito 16. Squared 3 is 9, 9. 16 plus 9 is 25, minus 7 is 18, kaya ito ay 18. Okay, 2 times 4 times x is 8x. 2 times 3 times y is 6y. And so, meron na tayong 6y and 8x, x squared and y squared. That's the general equation. So it's a little bit fast or even faster. So kapag mag-solve kayo, see to it na kaya nyo with speed and then double check for accuracy. Here's the graph. Okay? Kikita natin na this is the center, -4, -3, and yeah, ito nung sinasabi ko kanina na hindi po kayang agad ma-determine kung ano point dito. Okay? And so, anyway, pag-uusapan natin yan as we go through. Okay, so from center radius, yun yung unang condition natin kanina. We're now moving to the endpoints of the diameter of a circle are given. The endpoints, okay? Our understanding here, class, is that diameter is the longest chord in a circle, isn't it? So if there is a center here, there must be two endpoints of the diameter here. So the circle is found here. So yun ang sinasabi. Okay, so how are we going to get now the equation or determine the equation? So consider that the diameters are -2, 3, and then 2, 3 as the coordinates. Center is found as the in the midpoint, no? Siya ang midpoint. And so, nagamitin natin ang midpoint formula for us to be able to get the center. Ito na ang sinasabi natin na kailangan nyo i-recall lahat ng formulas related, no? So according to midpoint formula, we just need to get the average of the x coordinates and then the average of the y coordinates. So -2 plus 2 is 0, 0 divided by 2 gives us 0 here. For h, for k, 3 plus 3 is 6 divided by 2 is 3. So meron na tayong center 0, 3. Ang radius naman is the distance from the center to any point of the endpoints of the diameter. And again, radius is, okay, the diameter I mean is twice the radius. And radius is 1/2 of the diameter. Okay? So dito, pili ka ng point, kunin mo ang center. Center is 0, 3. And then, get a point. Let's say, kinuha mong point is -2, 3. Then use the distance formula. Kaya tayo nagkaroon ng 2 as the radius. It is also observed, class, that you can make use of the, kikita natin na pareho ang y coordinate nito, so pwedeng gamitin ang horizontal distance formula, that is diameter, dito diameter is the absolute value of -2 minus 2, which is 4. So radius is diameter over 2, 4 over 2. So pwede din naman yan gamitin. They will just provide the same. Now that we have the center and the radius, ay pwede na nating makuha ang standard equation. Dalawa lang naman ang kailangan natin eh. The center and the radius. So substitute, h is 0. So we have here 0. K is 3. So 3 here. And since h is just 0, x squared lang ito. And then y minus k, quantity squared, is now equal to 4. You have this square r. What about the general equation? Just expand. Okay? Square -3 gives us 9. Kaya 9 ito. 9 minus 4 is 5. -3 times 2 is -6. Times y is -6y. So, ready na ang ating general equation. It is just x squared plus y squared minus 6y plus 5 is 0. Again, nakikita natin dito ang halaga ng midpoint formula because two endpoints of the diameter And diameter is twice the radius, so the center is the midpoint. And after that, you can make use of the definition of diameter to radius or gamitin ang distance formula between 2 points, center and the endpoint, or di kaya endpoint to endpoint. Here is the graph, and we can see here no, the illustration. Nakikita natin ang itsura ng circle. Another example, endpoints of the diameter are 4, 1, 0, -3. So make use of the distance formula. 4 plus, the midpoint formula, 4 plus 0 divided by 2 is 2. And then y, 1 plus -3 is -2 divided by 2 is -1. So we have 2 and -1. What about the radius? Radius, pwede mong gamitin ang two endpoints of the diameter o pwede kayang gamitin mo na lang ang center and a point. So, kinuha natin ang center, -2, -1, and there is a point, 0, -3. For example, yun ang pinili mo. At bakit better gamitin ang 0, -3? Because of 0, ang bilis siyang manipulate. So, tinan mo to. 2 minus 0 is already 2. So, square 2 is 4. -3 minus -1 is -3 plus 1, and which is -2, no? Square -2 gives us 4. So 4 plus 4 is 8, so 8 square root of 8 can further be rewritten into 2 square root of 2. Reason? Because square root of 8 is equal to square root of 4 times 2. Perfect square ang 4, so that becomes square root of 2 times square root of 4. And because 4 is a perfect square, so we have 2 square root of 2. Okay? Like that. Now we're ready for the standard equation. I-substitute lang natin ang center, that is 4. Substituting 4. So, substituting 2. So we have minus 2 here. Substituting -1. So negative and negative. So negative, negative kasi ito. So that becomes positive. Kaya ito ay naging plus 1. Square root of 8 is simply 8. Okay? Again, tandaan that is r squared. The general equation, just expand. The square of -2 is 4, kaya ito ay 4. Square of 1 is 1, 1. Add all constants, 4 plus 1 is 5, minus 8 is -3. -2 times 2, okay, is -4. And then x, so -4x. 1 times 2 is 2, times y is 2y. Kaya ito ay 2y. And then just simply copy x squared and y squared. And you're done. Let's check the graph. So the graph looks like this. Yan, nakikita nyo dito class, hindi tayo nag-approximate. It remains to be 2 square root of 2. We don't use approximation for the radius. Ang dahilan nun ay hindi kasi natin makuha into perfection ang kailangan nating equation. So again, solving for the radius, we don't approximate. Not unless we're going to measure it now. But when it comes to the equation, no approximation. Pero kapag i-measure mo na, syempre, that's not perfect, so you can approximate. The third possible condition, there is a center and a point on the circle. May center daw, tapos may isang point, makikita natin on the circle. Okay? Meron ka ng center, may point. So in here, kailangan lang nating malaman kung ano ang radius. Dalawa lang naman ang focus natin. May center dapat at meron din dapat radius. So the radius is the distance between the center and the point. So gagamitin na natin ang distance formula. Kikita natin dito, -2 minus 1 is -3. Square -3 gives us 9. 4 minus 1, sa y naman na tayo, is 3. Square 3 is also 9. So 9 plus 9 is 18. And square root of 18 is 3 square root of 2. Meron na tayong center, meron na rin tayong radius. So, nung next, i-substitute na natin yan sa given equation for the standard. No? Where h is negative 2, so negative and negative gives us positive, kaya ito ay positive 2. Positive 4 ang ating k, so substitute lang ang 4. So, naging minus 4. The square of square root of 18 is simply 18. So, yan na ang standard equation. For the general equation, square 2 is 4. Square negative 4 is 16. 4 plus 16 is 20. 20 minus 18 is 2. So, yan na yung constant. 2 times 2 times x, okay, is 4x. Kaya ito ay 4x. While in here, negative 4 times 2 is negative 8 times y is negative 8y. And just copy x squared and x squared. And then, you now have the general equation. You see, this condition can simply be imagined this way. So, kung may circle, may center, may isang point daw. So, since may center na, kailangan mo lang ng radius. So, ganun lang ang sinasabi nito. Condition. Here is the graph. Okay, again, do not approximate the radius. On this next example, there is a center negative 6, negative 1, and then it passes through the point negative 2, 2. In this case, we're going to make use again the distance formula in solving for the radius. So we can observe here that negative 6 minus negative 2, it will become negative 4. So square negative 4 gives us 16. Okay, proceeding to y, negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. Square negative 3 gives us 9. 16 plus 9 is 25. So get the square root of 25. The radius is 5. Plugging that to the standard equation where h is negative 6. So minus negative 6 gives us positive 6 here. Now k is negative 1. So minus negative 1 will become plus 1. Square. And then r squared. Squared 5 is 25. Now in here, the general equation, just expand that. 6 times 6 is 36. Square 1 is 1. 36 plus 1 is 37. Minus 25 is 12. Okay? 6 times 2 times x is 12x. 1 times 2 times y is 2y. And that gives us this general equation. Let's check the graph. So ito ang kanyang graph. Okay? We can see here that the center is found on quadrant 3 and the points are found on quadrant 2 and 3 only. The fourth possible condition is that the center and the tangent line are given. Now the center is at 3, 6 and there is a tangent line x plus y minus 2 is equal to 0. And how do we illustrate that? Okay, so may isang circle, given ang kanyang center, and then may isang tangent line. And the tangent line class touches the circle at exactly one point. And that point, the point of intersection or the point of tangency, okay? The point of intersection of the tangent line and the circle is known as the point of tangency. Now, these 2 points, if there is an imaginary line, it must be perpendicular. Yan ang definition. Okay? And so, magpapagamit tayo sa rule of the distance formula for a point and a line. Okay? Kasi meron na tayong center, pero wala naman tayong radius, so yun ang hanapin natin. The radius is simply solved using the rule of this, no? The rule of the distance of a line and a point. Okay? So in here, we can say that A is 1, B is 1, and C is negative 2. Okay? Now, the x sub 0 na nakikita natin dito is the x coordinate of the center. Yun yung point kasi na given. So x sub 0 is 3 and y sub 0 is 6. Now, yun lang naman ang hinihingi ng formula. Kailangan meron ang line at meron din ang x-coordinate and the y-coordinate of the center. Substituting all of this, okay? So a is 1, 1 times 3 gives us 3. B is 1, y sub 0 is 6, so 1 times 6. And then c is negative 2, so plus negative 2. 3 plus 6 is 9, 9 minus 2 is negative 7. Absolute value of negative 7, okay, over square root of 2 gives us 7 over square root of 2. Rationalize, so we have 7 square root of 2 over 2. Yan ang hinihingi, ang kailangan nating ranges. Okay? Yeah, I think this must be positive 7 already. So that is positive 7 because 3 plus 6 is 9. 9 minus 2 is 7. Okay? Now, going back to the standard equation, just substitute the center. Center H is 3 and K is 6. So, yan na sila. And since positive and positive naman, so you can just simply minus 3 minus 6 directly. No need to change for the necessary sign. Okay? Square 7 is 49 and square root of 2 is simply 2. So ito ang ating standard equation. Now move tayo sa general equation. In the general equation, you just need to expand. So squaring negative 3 gives us 9. Okay, squaring negative 6 is 36. 36 plus 9 is equal to 45. So in here, we already have 45. So 45 minus 49 over 2. Cross multiply 2 times 45 is equal to 19. Or 90 minus 49 over 2. 90 minus 49 is 41. So that is 41 over 2. Okay? Negative 3 times 2 times x is negative 6x. Okay, 2 times negative 6 times y is negative 12y. So, this will now be our general equation. So, kapag nagsosolve kayo, for as long as kompleto na mga kailangan ninyo, no? We have the center and the ranges, and then in the process, pwede mo na lang i-substitute kung anong kailangan. So the graph looks like this. So there is a line here, x plus y is equal to 2, which is also x plus y minus 2 is equal to 0. They're just the same. Okay? Second example, for the same condition. Center, negative 1, 2, and there's a tangent line 2x minus 3y minus 5 is equal to 0. Again, use the distance formula for the point and a line. Dito class, pwede na natin diretsyo, no? Makikita natin na itong 2 multiply 2 times negative 1, diretsyo na. Minus 3 times 2, minus 5. Siya na ito. Pwede na natin diretsyo. And then, absolute value. Okay? So, negative 2 minus 6 is negative 8. Minus 5 is negative 13. Absolute value of negative 13 will now give us positive 13. A is 2. Okay, as visible here. A is 2. B is negative 3. Square 2 is 4. Square negative 3 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. So, we have square root of 13. Okay, and how did we get square root of 13 as the ranges? So rationalizing that, so we have 13 over square root of 13 times square root of 13 over square root of 13. Immediately we have 13 square root of 13 over 13. So cancelled na ang 13. So we now have square root of 13. Checking out the standard equation, just substitute h, that is negative 1. So, minus negative 1 gives us positive 1. Substituting k, which is 2. Okay, kaya naging minus 2 na lang. And then the square root of square root of 13 is simply 13. Going back to the general equation, just need to expand. Square 1 gives us 1 here. Square negative 2 gives us 4. So 1 plus 4 is 5 minus 13 is negative 8. And then getting 2x here is found when we multiply 1 times 2 times x. Okay? That's 2x. Negative 2 times y times 2 is negative 4. Or kapag confused ka pa rin, you can make use of the long multiplication way. So we now have this figure, no? Demonstrating to you kung ano ang na-solve natin. Yan ang sinasabi natin perpendicular. Now, for us to appreciate circles, we really need to deal with real-life applications. Okay? Now, remember that these are not just simple equations because they mean a lot, especially when we are trying to illustrate many things in the field of building and construction and others. Okay? So let's consider this example. Faye owns a circular garden. The radius of the garden is 5 meters. Now we're going to determine the equation of the circular garden, which is centered at the origin, and then calculate the area of the circular garden. Okay, so dito gusto natin na ang center ay origin, and then alamin natin kung ano ang area. Binigay na ang radius. The radius is 5 meters. Alam na natin ang radius. Isa-set natin na ang center ay origin. Okay. Mabilis lang class, no, kapag yun ang pinili mo as a center ay origin. Pero kung ikaw nagsosolve and you don't like to make use origin as a center or wala siya sa binigay na given, gusto mo gumamit ng iba-ibang radius, then okay lang yun. Okay? So let's have this. And since the center is the origin, so we have 0, 0 here, then this is simply the equation of the circle. Sa madaling salita, class, the center is origin. When the center is origin, then the equation of the circle is simply this. Why? Because you don't need to write 0. You don't need to have it this way. No? Tignan ka lang yung sulat ng ganito. So, pwede mo nang idiretso. Kasi 0 lang yan, so wala na yan. Wala. Okay? So, naging x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. Substituting r, which is 5, and since that is r squared, so square 5 gives us 25. And so, what is the area of the circular garden? In the area of the circular garden, class, alam naman natin na ang radius. So, we just make use of pi r squared. So, that is 25 pi square meters, which is approximately 78.54 square meters. So, ayan ang kanyang circular garden. Okay? This is just a simple example, pero marami pang pwedeng ma-investigate from this circular garden. Okay? Pwedeng pumasok dyan yung idea of sector, idea of area, small area, baka may kinat ka dyan, or whatever is the situation na pinag-usapan. But in this case, we just have to solve kung ano tinatanong. Okay, so here is about building. The interior of the Washington Capitol Hill Dome Rotunda is a circular room with a diameter of 96 feet. Okay, write an equation that models the rotunda. Okay, dito makikita natin na open, no? Hindi niya sinabi kung saan, sa anong center, pero binigay niya kung ano ang diameter of this circular room. Okay, so how are we going to do this? In this case, pwede mong piliin ang origin as a center. Bakit? Yan kasi ang pinakamabilis gamitin. Since tinatanong lang sa'yo kung anong equation, o di piliin mo na kung anong mas mabilis gamitin. Okay? Radius is 1/2 the diameter. So diameter divided by 2, 96 divided by 2 gives us 48 feet. And so, proceed tayo sa standard equation. Substituting 48 for r. So we have 28, 2,304. Okay? That is r squared. In general form, ito na ang kanyang general. Okay. What if hindi origin ang pinili mo? Then, very simple class. Halimbawa, pinili mo center. Center ay may coordinates na, let's say, -2, 2. Then you can just simply have the standard equation. X, negative yan. So, we give +2 squared plus y minus 2 squared is equal to 2,304. Okay? So, when it comes to the general form naman, then we have x squared plus y squared. 2 times 2 is 4, so plus 4x. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4 for y minus 4y. And then square 2 is 4. Square negative 2 is also 4. 4 and 4 ay 8. So we have minus 2,290. Okay, remove 4, 96 is equal to 0. Okay, kasi 4 and 4 is 8. So magiging 2,304 minus 8. Okay, so, well, that's just a representation. Pwede kang pumili kung anong gusto mo. Kung origin ang gusto mong gamitin, then yan ang sagot. Kung iba naman ang center na gusto mong gamitin, then walang magbago naman class. Because when it comes to the dimension, the radius does not change. Even if the center will change, that remains to be the same circle. What matters lang dito is saan nakapwesto, no? Kasi kung saan-saan pwedeng pumwesto. Kung saan-saan pwedeng illustrate ang tinutukoy mong circle. Okay? So the third example, an arch over an entrance is semicircular with an opening that is 7 feet wide. Okay? Write an equation that models the arch. So we can see here it's a semicircle. So the 7 feet here represents the diameter. Okay? So since the diameter is 7 feet, we just need to divide 7 by 2. That is why we have here 3.5. Okay, and then now substitute radius, that is 3.5, gives us square of 3.5 is 12.25. Again, pinili natin ng origin ang magiging center. Now, the general equation is simply this. Okay, lipat lang natin yung 12.5, which becomes x squared plus y squared minus 12.5. 25 is 0. And after that, it's time for us to look into other properties just like this. May limitasyon ang y values. Bakit? No? From 0 to 3.5 lang siya. The reason here is because the radius is simply 3.5. So hanggang doon lang ang pag-akyat. Hanggang doon lang ang taas ng pwedeng gamiting y. Again, dahil ang center mo ay origin. So, tingnan natin ang graph. So, the graph looks like this. Okay? It's limited. It's semicircular only. Yan lang ang ginamit. So, in modeling, hanggang dyan lang ang may papakita mo in the blueprint, for example, because you're just referring to a semicircle. Okay, to generalize, therefore, a circle is defined by the set of all points in a plane that are equidistant from a fixed point called the center, and the fixed distance is known as the radius. The standard equation is also known as the center radius form. Well, the center HK coordinates are and the radius R are visible. Okay, R should be greater than 0. When R is equal to 0, then that's a point. Here, ito ang formula for H and K. You have to remember all of this. Radius. And again, A and B should not be 0 and they should be equal. And this plus here should always be true. Kapag na-violate natin lahat ng sinasabi ni circle, then ibang conic section na pinag-uusapan. Or at the same time, walang conics na nagawa o nabuo. And that, you're now ready to move to the next conic section.